wanted to live, but I wasn't trying. I was defiant, not knowing that this ain't how we live. This just how they design it. Cause when you in them streets, you get more endemic. They don't tell you gonna be on papers and on restrictions. My father said a hard head to make a soft ass. I didn't care, I wanted fear when I walked past. In a place where a black man's blood is cheap. I thank the Lord for the day I was on Lake Street. Pissing in the cup, back and forth to court. From the DC school, I swear it felt like I cried on that fucking porch. The Lord said, my sheep, they ain't hear my voice. Asked me why I'm UPK, I told them I ain't have a choice. They said God ain't 50-50 and what's gonna come to pass. The Lord called me out the world and I started running fast. All I wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. Go ahead. All I wanted was to be a gangster. Isupk until it hit the fan. I want power and a throne, nigga, fuck them grams. All I wanted was to be a gangster, but I was real as a righteous man. And now got the upper hand, gotta promote this brand. Correct whole multitudes until they all understand. If I can't get that crown, Lord, then put me in the hands of someone more mighty, make me this hit man. Reminiscing on the pain that was felt. Shit, I was in the jam. Shit, I needed help. But Swan was locked up and the judge put man on the shelf. Heavy crying cause it felt like I was left by myself. All I wanted was to impress niggas with my grinding. Now I ain't trying to prove shit to nobody but Muhammad. Cause most these niggas lie, pump smoke. One time for the most high, he made me a cutthroat. Cause all I ever wanted was to smash my opponents. Stacking cash, not knowing it wouldn't last. Then God, I hope you accept my atonement. Cause all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was a gangster. Decisions that I made before the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was a gangster. Decisions that I made before the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a
Oh, but that's mine. All right, you ready?
We ain't got nothing up here that we don't need, right? We don't need to go out.
All right. What's going on, Israel? This I'm Precinct Officer 500 Kapari. I'm coming at you from Durham, North Carolina. That's the 919 for some of y'all that don't know. We're coming at you tonight on this Wednesday night, the law. So what we're going over tonight is going to be voting. We're going over voting. Voting is not of God. Now, I know that the election and everything is over with, so I know some of our people may be wondering, for the people who may be in the class or who may be in the chat watching on YouTube, may be wondering, well, since the election is over, why are we going over voting? That why are we going over voting since now Joe Biden's supposed to be getting ready to be in the White House? Why are we talking about voting tonight? Well, the reason why we're talking about voting tonight is because that's something that's still plaguing our people. That's something that our people still are participating in. Voting is something it's going to come back around. What is it, like every 4 years or something? So I know in the next 4 years our people are still going to be voting, and that's something that's unlawful according to the Bible. And we're going to be getting that tonight to see what the Bible actually says about voting. But I just wanted to go over that real quick because I know there's something that a lot of us so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, I know that's something that that we're still currently doing. So even though voting is over with, I know that's something we're still doing. So if you will, our brother, give me
You didn't say ISUPK. You didn't say we the ISUPK. Are we supposed to say that? Are we supposed to say we the ISUPK? Okay, come. Salaki then.
no sweat, no sweat. But if you will, just go ahead on and get me the book of Deuteronomy. I believe 17 and 15.
Come on, I got it.
Yeah, we're just going to start right there for a second.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 5.
So like it. I just want to read it. I want to read it with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to follow.
When you're ready.
Yeah, I got it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee.
Say that one more time.
Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee.
Keep going.
Whom the Lord.
Who?
Whom the Lord.
One more time.
Whom the Lord.
Keep going.
Thy power shall choose.
Say that last word again.
Choose.
Choose. Now I know a lot of us have went to school. Some of us may have graduated. Some of us may not have. But I remember being in elementary, all throughout middle school and high school, learning about these words, these vocabulary words. Where the word choose is an action word, if I'm not mistaken. The word choose, and the Bible is saying that the Lord shall do what now?
Choose.
The Lord shall do what? The Lord God shall choose.
Shall choose.
Right, meaning it's an action. So the Lord has already done this. The Lord is choosing. The Lord has already chosen the king for us as Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Choose. So here's my question for my people. If the Bible is saying that the Lord has already chosen the king for us, why are we choosing? Why are we voting? You know what I mean? Like, think about it for a second. So I could go. Keep reading. I'm going to do that in a second. Keep going, brother.
Whom the Lord thy power shall choose, one from among thy brethren.
Say that last part again.
Brethren.
One from among thy brethren, meaning what? Meaning what? People in the online chat, I'm going to have to check, make sure, because I know people are going to be having questions. One from among thy brethren, meaning what? Meaning what? Say that again.
Thy people are the one.
Thank you. The water for that. Thy kingdom, thy people. Thy people. Meaning what? Meaning your fellow brother or sister, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's what it's talking about. From your brother. The Lord shall choose. The Lord shall choose, and not any person, but the Lord shall choose. The Lord shall choose a person from your own kind. A fellow brother, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Read it from the top if you will, brother.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy power shall choose.
And stop right there. Now, ask yourself this question. And the Bible is saying that the Lord shall choose. Here's a question I want to ask for the people in the chat and for people who may be in the class. Why didn't it say that we may choose, us as Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Let's think about that for a second. Why is the Bible saying that the Lord shall choose? Why didn't it give us the option to choose? Let me answer that way. Just going to take our time for the people who may just now be logging in or checking in on YouTube, you know. Like, you got to think about it for a second. You think you know? You think you know what? Why is this? If I need to rephrase the question, I will. Just let me know. But why in the Bible, why is it saying whom the Lord, thy God, shall choose? Like, why is the Lord, why is the Most High choosing? Why didn't it say that you may choose or elect? Why is it not saying that? Why is it saying that? Why is the Lord having to choose? Go ahead.
If I may, sir, obviously that the Lord is wiser than anyone that
Yes.
lives. So that would be the number one answer.
Yes.
And he would know better than anybody else who would be a better king over us.
Absolutely. 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 You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And let me just reiterate, the brother is right. The officer is right. He's absolutely right because the Lord is wiser than us, and the Lord is the only one that's fit to make those type of choices. Like we as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you know, we can't even do simple things as choosing a right father for our children. You know what I mean? We can't do simple things like that. You know, we can't make the simple decisions. We can't learn. We don't know how to make the right choices of not eating shrimp, crab, pork, lobster. You know, choosing the right woman to marry. You know, not marrying a whore. You know, not making sure we're marrying an Israelite man or woman. We can't make simple choices like that. But yet you think we're fit to make a choice for somebody that's going to lead us, our nation? There's no way. There's no way. As a matter of fact, we couldn't even make the right decisions in the Garden of Eden. Let's start there. But you think, come on, the Lord says what in Genesis? He said, of these trees, of these you may eat, but not of this one. And of course, we know it wasn't talking in a literal sense, but I'm just saying, we've been messing up since the Garden of Eden, but yet we think that we are in a position. We think we got the I don't want to say mental capacity, but we think that we so what now? Oh, come on, appreciate it. Shalom. But we can't even do simple things of that, but yet we think that we're in the position to make choices, to make these decisions of who's going to lead us and who's going to lead our people in this oppression. Come on, y'all, let's give me some more.
One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee.
Ooh, read that last part right there. Thou mayest what?
Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
Which is not thy brother. Now, I'm glad the Bible said this specifically because what's going on now? Well, the Bible in here is now saying in Deuteronomy 17 and 15, it's saying that the Lord shall choose, meaning the Lord shall choose. But think about the position that we are in today here in America. I'm not even going to say the entire world, but let's just think America. In today's time, we're doing what now? We're voting. Well, I guess technically it's over with now, but we're voting. I guess we now got Joe Biden. I guess he's now in the White House, so we're voting. The Bible in here, Deuteronomy 17 to 15, is saying that the Lord shall choose, but we're disobeying that, so we're choosing, we're voting, and then at the end, it's also saying, "Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee." And I'm glad it said that because who's now in the White House now? Technically Donald Trump, but he's getting ready to leave, but Joe Biden. Now here's a question that I need to ask for the people that's either in the class or online: is Joe Biden a brother or is he a stranger? Is he a brother or is he a stranger? That's why I love. Go ahead.
He is certainly a stranger.
He is a stranger. And now, please, if you can, brother, tell me why is Joe? And matter of fact, not only Joe Biden, but what's her name? Kamala Harris. How you say it?
Yeah, Kamala Harris.
Now, because she's not an Israelite as well,
No.
if I'm not mistaken.
She is not.
She is not. Now, please.
She's an Edomite.
Thank you. You say Edom or Elam? Edomite. Good night.
She's an Edomite. Her grandfather is a white man from Europe. And that meant her father was an Edomite.
All right.
So she's an Edomite.
Good night. Good night. This is ridiculous. Yes. And Joe Biden is a stranger. Now, why is he a stranger? Why is he a stranger and not our brother? It's very simple, because he's not a so-called black Hispanic or Native Indian.
That's right.
His father, Joe Biden's father, is not a so-called black man or Hispanic man or Native Indian. He's not any of those people. He's not any of those people. He does not come from that seed. He comes from the seed of Edom. So therefore, he is a stranger. He is a stranger. He's a heathen. Keep going, brother. Or was that the end?
Which is not thy brother. That's the end of the verse. I don't want.
Mm-hmm. Start from the top. Just read that one last time.
From the top. Mm-hmm. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy power shall choose.
Right. Now, the reason why, Salakia. The reason why it's also saying this in Deuteronomy, because guess what was going on then that's going on now? We were doing some of the same things then that we're doing now. That's nothing new. Ain't nothing new under the sun. We was being just as hard-headed and disobedient then that we are now. That's why the Bible's having to state that. And so today, what we're going to be showing you, like we're showing you now, is that not only is voting not of God, but we're going to be showing you today, or tonight rather, that how voting is unlawful. That's one. How it's feminine. That's two. And also, who could take a stab at the third one? There's a lot of things that's wrong with voting, but I'm getting like the meat of it, the big portions of it. So the main one is unlawful. That's the first one. The second one is feminine, which I know a lot of people didn't know that, but I'm going to be explaining that one tonight. And then the third one, I'm going to see if any brothers or sisters online could guess what the third one is. What another problem that goes on with voting. It keeps us, I don't want to get the answer, but it keeps us doing this or not doing this. It's a third one. I'm going to see if anybody could guess it. So anybody online or in the class that want to take a stab at it real quick. Is there anybody online, or do I need to check?
I can't tell.
Okay, no, so I got it. Y'all just bear with me real quick. I'm trying to do like two things at once. I know there's people online right now. I know you guys have questions or whatnot, so just bear with me. I want to make sure I can get to everybody. So I'm not gonna be able to do it from here because I got the video and I don't want to mess it up. So, but go ahead. But take a stab at it, though, brother.
Salakia?
Yeah, I was saying take a stab at it. I was saying the problems with voting. The three things, meaning like there's a lot of things with voting, but I'm just naming three like the big main things. And one is unlawful, which we're showing you right now. We got other precepts to go with it as well. Two is feminine, and then the third one, I want to see if you can take a stab at it and get it.
The thing that I see about voting is that voting is designed to keep us involved or a part of the kingdom that oppresses us.
Yes. That's not the answer I was looking for, but you are right. That's why I said it's a number of things. I'll give you a hint. This school wouldn't be here without it.
Brotherhood.
Bingo. Brotherhood. That's exactly what it is. Now I know this is Wednesday night, the law. I know this ain't brotherhood was what? Last night, Tuesday night.
But what you talking about is the Lord. Damn
right. So even though, I understand brotherhood is Tuesday night, but I mean this covers everything. So I'm gonna be touching on that tonight, but that's just to show you what voting does to us as a nation of Israel. What voting does to us, because that's never been a thing. Like us as Israelites, God's chosen people, blacks, Hispanics, and Natives, Indians, like voting has never been our thing. That's never been like a part of the Bible. That's not something we do in the nation of Israel. Like we've never have said, okay, well, I like such and such, so therefore I'm gonna vote for this person, or I don't like such and such. We've never have said, okay, well, no sweat. Or like we've never said, well, because I don't like such and such, I'm gonna vote this person out. Like we don't do that. Like that's very feminine. It's very feminine. But we're gonna touch up on that one in a second. Drop that, brother. If you will, get me the book of 1 Samuel. Take me to 1 Samuel 12 and 13. But like I was saying, but voting it's not just that it's unlawful. Like that's the easy one. But the other things that goes wrong with it is it's feminine and it's unbrotherly.
1 Samuel, what's the
1 Samuel 12 and 13. Like I said, we're just going to be pulling a bunch of precepts and just a bunch of scriptures showing you that it's unlawful, and it's it was never meant for us as Israelites to be voting anyway. Like this isn't our society, because the main thing about it is us as Israel, we're not a democracy. Like we don't do that. Like we're not a democracy. If we need to pull word definitions tonight, we can. I mean, I didn't mean for this to turn into an English class, but but there's actually a few words that I actually want to go over today. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that right now since we're on topic. Let me go ahead and do it now. It's if you will. Matter of fact, I think I'll do it. If you're not able to do it, Yanazar, like I said, I'll pull up. I kind of want to go to the board tonight, but I don't want to because I don't want to mess with that. But it's 3 words that I just want everybody to look up on their phone 3 words.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna do 2 first. I may do the 3rd one later. It's 2 words. I want you to look up government. Now you could just Google this. You know, like most people got smartphone or laptop or whatever. So anybody that's looking and listening online on your phone, just look up the word government. That's the first one. We're gonna look up the word government, and I'm gonna look that up as well. Just bear with me, y'all. We're gonna look up 2 words. I want to look up government, and then I want to look up govern. So for right now, just pull up. You good?
I hit it and it won't.
And also, like I said, if you can't get it, like I
Govern.
yeah, we're gonna pull up government first.
Okay, I got it.
Let me see if I can get it. Bear with me. This is want to act funny now. I had it working early today, man. I had it working all day, and then the second I get here, when I act up. You got it?
Kind of uncomfortable.
Okay. 'Cause I know it when I hear it's a certain wording that I need, but go ahead and read it when you're ready.
Government, the continuous exercise of authority over the performance or the functions for a political unit. The organization, machinery, or agency through which a political unit exercises authority, performs functions, which is usually classified according to the distribution of power within it.
So like, you good? That's the only definition, because I pulled it up too, but my definition was different. What I got was this: the system by which a nation is governed. That's what I got, but I mean, I don't know.
I don't have. I did a Webster.
Okay, Webster. All right. Well, just give me the first one you got. No sweat. I mean, either way. I mean,
The act or process of governing. The office, authority of function or governing.
Right. So in was that the end of that, or you had more?
There's another one.
No sweat. That worked. So in other words, what?
Body. Salaki,
Go ahead.
The body or persons that constitute the governing authority.
That part. Start from there. That's what I need.
The body of persons.
The body or persons. Go ahead.
That constitutes the governing authority or a political unit or organization.
In other words, in layman's terms, what is a government? A government is just a group of people, or as you said, a body, right? That's what the Isupk is. That's what it is. As we read in the Bible, when we talk about the body of Christ, that's exactly what this is, as the body. So what that is like when you look at the Isupk and you look at the men that are in here, the militant structure that we have, we are the government. This is what it is. There's nothing wrong with a government. That's just the word. But the problem is when you talk about the government in America, it's wicked. So that's the difference. When you talk about the Isupk, we have a government. And don't worry, this is all ties in with voting. I'm going to tie this all in. I just need everybody to understand what these words mean. That's what a government is, a government. And then the last one is govern. I actually had that definition myself. I mean, you can look it up if you want to, but I will go and read what I have. I'll read this one myself. Now, the word govern just means to conduct the policy or actions of an organization or people. I'll say that again. Govern. The word govern just means to conduct the policy or actions of an organization or a people. In other words, in layman's terms, what that means is, govern. For instance, like with the Isupk. The Isupk, we govern ourselves, meaning what? The brothers and sisters that come in here, we govern them, meaning we make sure brothers and sisters are keeping those laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what we do. We govern ourselves. So when we see a brother that's saying something or doing something or treating another brother that's wrong or ill manner, we say, Salakia, brother, but that's not brotherly. That's unbrotherly. Like, Salakia, that's not Tawab. I need you to go and correct that. Or if we do it ourselves, we correct ourselves. Same thing with a sister. Hey, Salakia, sis, that's not appropriate. You shouldn't wear that. Maybe that's something at home with you and your husband, but that's not appropriate. You can't come in here. That's what govern means. Just like in here, in America, just like in America, we have police officers, right? They do what? They're supposed to govern us. They're supposed to be the enforcers of the law. That's what govern means. Govern. Salakia. But I'm just bringing all these words out to help you understand later on what's going on when it comes to voting. Now, what does that have to do with voting? Why am I bringing these words up? Why am I bringing up government? Why am I bringing these 2 words up? What does that have to do with voting? Well, the reason why I'm bringing that up is to show you the difference between the nation of Israel and show you the nation of America. Because in the nation of America, America's government, they believe in voting. That's the system that they have set in place. But with us as Israel, as Israelites, as I stated before, we're not a democracy. So although we have a government, and we govern ourselves, we don't believe in voting. That's not what we do. We don't have things in our nation where if I got an alt with a brother, or if I disagree, if I don't like somebody, I'm going to go vote him or her out. We don't do that. We don't have that. But in America, you do that. In America, America pushes that. America believes in that. America believes in you can vote somebody in and vote somebody out. But we don't do that in here. Sorry, bro. I ain't mean to keep talking. I told that a lot tonight. But go ahead. You still got 1 Samuel?
All
right, start at 12 and 13.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 12, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Now, therefore, behold the king whom ye have chosen.
Whoa. Hold on, slow down. Hold on. I heard something. Hold on. Let me get it. Let me read it with you. 1 Samuel 12 and 13. Go ahead. Read from the top.
Now, therefore, behold the king whom ye have chosen.
Who?
Ye have chosen.
Meaning who the Lord has chosen. Go ahead. What's the what?
It says ye have chosen.
Come on.
Oh, he's talking to the Lord?
So you're right. Yeah, who ye have chosen. Go ahead. Read from the top.
Now, therefore, behold the king whom ye have chosen.
Who ye have chosen. It's talking about who? It's talking about us. Go ahead. Keep reading, brother.
And whom ye have desired.
Go ahead.
And behold, the Lord hath set a king over you.
It says that last part. It says the Lord has set a king over you. Who is that king? For those of y'all that don't know, who is that king? Everybody should at least, I hopefully know that one. Who is that king that the Lord has set over us rather? That king. Go ahead.
If I may, the people chose Saul, but the Lord chose David.
Absolutely. Man, God, no, you don't jump ahead, man. Ain't no sweat, because you jumped ahead. It's something else I wanted to hit on, but I'm glad you said that, and I'm glad that you brought it up, because now why is it saying that? Why is it saying that though? Read from the top about ye have chosen. Start from the top. Now,
therefore, behold the king whom ye have chosen.
The king that ye have chosen, just like today. Because we done chose Joe Biden. We chose Joe Biden in the White House. Like, I forget what that percentage was. It was over like 60-something% of black people voted for Joe Biden. It's something high.
70%.
I thought it was 60-something. Is that high?
Yeah, and like 80, like 90. For the men, it was like 70%. For the women, it was like 95%.
That's crazy, man.
Of black women voted for him.
That's crazy. And we were like 12 to 13% of the population, and that much of us voted for that.
We gave him the victory, actually. No question.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for black folks, Biden would have lost.
Good night, man. Good night.
No question about it.
That's why I'm so glad we're reading 1 Samuel now, because what was going on then is like what's going on now. Like, we've all, and I don't know exactly, but we've always had this thing in Israel where we always went against the Lord. Like, the Lord would literally choose. The Lord would choose someone. The Lord would choose. I say that again. The Lord would choose, not us. The Lord would choose and set a king over us, but then we would turn around and have our own and make up in our own mind. We want to do what we want to do. Like that. And that is so disrespectful in a sense. It is. It's just so disrespectful to just directly go against what the Lord is saying. Go ahead. Read from the top.
Now, therefore, behold the king whom ye have chosen and whom ye have desired. And behold, the Lord hath set a king over you.
Behold, the Lord has set a king over you, because the same things that were going on then are going on now. The Lord has always chosen a king, just like now. We have our king. We have our king. Jesus, as Christians say, or people in the world like to say, Jesus Christ or Yahweh Shah Mashiach in the Hebrew. Like, that's who our king is. So, we're not participating in this one, Like, we're not participating in any of these things. And I keep hearing people saying, what's the other one? A famous thing they like to say. If you don't vote for Biden, oh no, what is it? If you don't vote, that's like you voting for Trump or something like that.
The lesser of two evils.
Yeah, lesser of two evils. It's like another way of trying to get you to feel guilty so you can go out there and vote. But as we brought out a few weeks ago, here's the problem with voting, though. Here's another problem, anyway. It's not on my top 3 list. But another problem with voting is this. When you vote for someone, whether they're Republican or Democrat, whatever, you know, when you vote for someone, you vote for everything. You vote for all their policies and everything. Like, there is no, well, I'm going to vote for Joe Biden, you know. But I disagree with the crime bill, though. I didn't like when he did that. It's like there's no in between. If you vote for that one thing, I mean, if you vote for that individual, you're voting for everything. You know, come on, Yanazar, keep reading.
And whom ye have desired, and behold, the Lord hath set a king over you.
The Lord has set a king over you. The Lord has already done this. But if you will, drop that and give me Second Chronicles, the 6th chapter. But the Lord has already done this. The Lord has already set a king over us. You know, like, this is something that we've always been dealing with since, like I said earlier, like since the Garden of Eden. Like, we are hard-headed and disobedient, you know, but we are not fit to make these type of choices, you know. Like, we're okay with doing, you know, smaller things maybe, but for us voting, you know, who should lead us, who should lead our nation and all that, we're not fit for that. No. Only the Lord is doing. Only the Lord is fit for that one. And we have proved. So like 2 Chronicles 6 and 5.
6 and 5.
Yeah, 6 and 5. But we have proven time and time again that we are not fit. That we are not fit to do that, because, like I said, it's just simple things that we're not able to do, or that not that we're not able to do, but we're having difficulties doing. You know, we're having problems. You know, with just trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You know, not eating certain foods and you know, not sleeping with another brother's rib and smoking weed. We're dealing with things like that, but yet we think we're in the position and we're fit enough to make a choice, a decision of who our leader is going to be, you know, based on some sort of feeling or emotion, because we like this candidate or whatever. Because we like this candidate, they make us feel good and get us in our emotions and our feelings. Go ahead.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 6, verse 5. Since the day that I brought forth my people out of the land of Egypt, I chose no city among all the tribes of Israel to build an house.
Ooh, read that from the top, because I heard something that I wanted to focus on. Go ahead, read from the top.
Since
2 Chronicles 6 and 5.
Since the day that I brought forth my people.
My people, that's possessive. I need everyone to pay attention. When the Bible speaks, it's always in words like this of my people and our. It's always possessive. My people. My people is talking about the Israelites. Go ahead.
Out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the land of Egypt, which is the house of bondage. The house of bondage. Go ahead.
I chose no city among all the tribes of Israel to build an house in, that my name might be there. Neither chose I any man to be a ruler over my people Israel.
Neither chose I what?
Any man.
Say what?
Any man.
Any man to be a ruler over my people. Now, why is it saying any man? It's saying any man. It's saying any man for a reason. Because when you look at people like, what's his name? Joe Biden. I guess you could consider him any man because he's not an Israelite. So I wouldn't call him a brother. And the Bible is saying any man. You got something, brother? Oh, okay. Yeah, but the Bible is saying any man to rule over my people. Because when you look at us today, who's in position of authority? Not necessarily who put him there, but who's in authority? Like, who's in position of power right now? I guess technically Donald Trump, he still is the president right now, technically. But he's not out the White House. But regardless, whether it's him or Joe Biden, those aren't our brethren. Those are our oppressors. They're in there right now. And right now, they're ruling over us. They're ruling over us, man. But they're ruling over us right now. Like, those are our oppressors that we're dealing with. Go ahead. Keep reading. Continue.
And that my name might be there, neither chose I any man to be a ruler over my people Israel.
Now, verse 6 is what I want to hit. Go ahead.
Verse 6. But I have chosen.
But what?
I have chosen.
Go ahead.
Jerusalem,
Jerusalem, meaning the Israelites. Go ahead.
that my name might be there, and have chosen David.
Who?
David.
One more time.
David.
Now, as we just read before in the previous verse, wasn't it the same thing where the Lord was saying he chose David? If I'm not mistaken, we just read that. David himself is an Israelite. We're going to keep going. Go ahead.
And I have chosen David to be over my people,
David,
Israel.
over my people, who? Israel. Now, David is an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. But David himself, David to rule over his people, because for what? Because the Lord wouldn't have any other people, or as I said earlier, any man rule over my people. The Lord would not do that. The Lord wouldn't have just any old person just ruling over us as Israelites. It was never supposed to be that way. We were supposed to have our own brethren to be over us, not these heathens. Not what's the name? Former President Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, any of them. All those people are heathens, and they're not our brothers. Go ahead. Was that the end of that one? Okay. Now the precept of this one, I want to see. I wish there was more people here, but the precept of this scripture right here, or one of the precepts for this one, to know how you know that Christ is actually our King. That's who we voted for. Is you actually want to? I'm gonna see if you know. I'm gonna see if anybody knows this one. But there's a precept that I need that for this one. There's a few precepts, but there's one in particular that I really want to touch on. It's a precept for what we just read over. If you will, just read verse 6 again.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 6, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
But I have chosen Jerusalem, that my name might be there,
Mm-hmm.
and have chosen David to be over my people, Israel.
Right. Now let's just say somebody who may be listening, right? Who may be listening, they don't know nothing about the Bible, or they don't know much about the Bible, and they're just now finding out about voting and how it's unlawful, how voting is ungodly. They may not know that. Now, when they hear a scripture like this, they hear David, but they may not think of Christ. Now, what is the precept for this one that proves that Christ himself? It actually goes hand in hand with verse 6. I'll give brothers a hint. It's on the officer's test. It's on the office. I mean, it's relating to it anyway. I'll take a quick stab at it. It's in the book of Matthew. I'll start there. I'll do that much. But it's the perfect precept for this one. When it says, but I have chosen Jerusalem that my name might be there, and have chosen David to be over my people, Israel. It's in Matthew. I'll give you a hint, or I'll just give you the answer for time's sake. It's Matthew 1:1. Let's go ahead on. Let's get it. Man, if you will, so like your brother, just hold where you at. Just keep your thumb there, and then get me Matthew 1:1. And
The book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 1.
Hold where you at. I want you to keep those two scriptures.
Yeah, I got them.
Now, okay, no sweat. Now, what for anybody listening online? I wish there was a way I could check it. God, I know people got questions.
You got any questions?
I know I gotta check it. But only problem is if I pull up on my phone, it's gonna mess up there. That's why I don't. Yeah.
It's gonna mess up. If you put it up on the phone, it's gonna mess up the video.
Yeah, because it's like if I pull up the YouTube chat.
You can't see the questions.
If I can't, I don't know. I don't want to risk it because I hate to lose it.
Okay.
But ain't no sweat. But yeah. But okay. Now what I want you to do, just read 2 Chronicles 6 and 6? Yeah. 6 and 6. Yeah. Read that, and then after you get to reading that, we're gonna read 1:1.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 6, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
But I have chosen Jerusalem that my name might be there, and have chosen David
to be over my people, Salakia.
To be over my people,
right.
Israel.
Now read 1:1, Matthew 1:1.
The book of Matthew.
Understanding of it. Go ahead.
Chapter 1, verse 1. The book of the generations of Yahushua Mashiach.
Right. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, so give me a second. We just gonna read it. When you read that, just say Jesus Christ, just for the people online who may not understand. Yeah, read that from the top.
The book of the generations of Jesus Christ.
Say that again, one more time.
The book of the generation.
The book of the generations, meaning what? Meaning what? Talking to the people online right now. The book of the generations of Jesus Christ. Don't worry, this all ties into voting. Don't worry, I ain't forgot. The book of the generation, meaning what? When you see generation, just think lineage and bloodline. Go ahead, you was gonna say something?
Generation, meaning a single generation.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time that Jesus, this is a book about the time that Jesus existed on the earth.
Yes. Yes, keep going.
Of Jesus Christ, the son of David.
What?
The son of David.
The son of who? One more time.
The son of David.
The son of David, as we just read. Now, David was a king at one point, but why is it saying David, though? Even though we're talking about Christ. Even though it's talking about that. You know why it's saying that? You want to take a stab at it? Go ahead.
They're saying it because Jesus is of the lineage of David, and also he sits on David's throne.
There you go. That's how you know we're talking about Christ. So Christ was that king. This is who we were supposed to be voting for. That's who we were supposed. And read that last part.
The son of David, the son of Abraham.
So it goes all the way back. That's why I love it for that. It said generation, and then it goes all the way back, even all the way back to Abraham. That's why it's saying that. So that's who it was talking about. That's who it's talking about. That's who we're supposed to be voting for. That guy right there, Christ. That's exactly who we're supposed to be voting for. Now, as I stated earlier, there's many things that's wrong with voting. And it's not that it's just unlawful. It's also feminine. It's also feminine as well. And you want to know how it's feminine? You want to know how it's feminine? It's feminine because it's dealing with your emotions. That's all it ever is. It's just dealing with your emotions. What I mean by that is this. Every time we turn around and it's coming to, somebody, some politician or whatever, they're running for Congress or something, or, president or whatever case may be, they're always trying to get, not just black people, but they're trying to get everybody to vote. So they're trying to get everybody in their emotions, meaning what? They're trying to say things that they think that we can relate to. They try to say things and do things that are relatable, So when you look at, what's his name? Barack Obama, when he got in there, what was his main saying? Do y'all remember? Y'all should. I know I remember. I was like 15, 16. When Barack Obama got in there, he was running. Because, every politician got their slogan or whatever, their own thing. I know y'all remember.
Change has come.
Thank you. Change. That's exactly what he was saying. He was saying change. And you got young Jeezy. My president is black. My Lambo is blue, and I be dead. I mean, like all the rappers, everybody was coming out and saying something, because not only was he a so-called black man, and I'm saying it like that because he's really not, but America and including our people put him up on that pedestal as if he was a black man, but he's not. Then he came out and dogged black men, as Commander Junior Hunter brought out the other night. But what I'm saying is, like, he's a heathen as well. But they're always saying and doing things trying to get us in our feelings and our emotions. They're always trying to say things and do things because they think they can relate to us. You had Barack Obama. Then there's what's his name? Clinton playing saxophone and smoking weed and hanging out with Chris Tucker, and like they're always doing these things. And then you have what's his name? Joe Biden. Now him, the latest one. Joe Biden got in there, and what was his thing he said? And matter of fact, I'm going to actually have to play the video clip. Joe Biden had got up there, and he said to Charlemagne, he said, if you don't vote for me, well, you ain't black. That's what he said. Like, he said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. If you don't believe me, I'm going to pull up. You got something on? I thought you were about to say something.
No, it's the insanity of that statement. It's like he has the power to define who is black and who is not, because of the vote. That is incredible.
That's ridiculous, because as if like who I vote for, now that's supposed to be, I guess that's supposed to be like, if I don't vote for Joe Biden, who's supposed to be a Democrat, like what are you saying now? Because you're a Democrat, I'm supposed to vote for you? Like what? That's what that means now. So you gonna reduce who I am to a vote, to a political thing? Are you like what? I got the video right here. Just bear with me. I want y'all to see this one. Just bear with me, everybody. And I'm gonna see if I could. Let me see.
Like Joe Biden has stuck his foot all the way in his mouth.
So like it. Here we go. Now I know for the people who are listening online, you guys just gotta bear with me. We just having some technical difficulties. We're not able to actually show the video like we want to on the monitor. So you guys are watching on on your smartphone or on your laptop. So you may not be able to see it, but we're gonna try our best for you to be. If we could.
If I turn the camera, they could see it.
Okay, cool.
I don't know whether they could hear it or not.
Okay. All right. Well, if you will, okay, you can just go on YouTube. So if you got a smartphone or a laptop, you can just go on YouTube or Google, and you can just type in Joe Biden, you ain't black. So you can pull this up. So we're gonna try our best. So so for the people who are online watching, hopefully you could see it. Hopefully, now you may not be able to hear it, but like I said, you can always pull it up on your own phone or laptop or whatever. So just bear with us. But this is Joe Biden. He tells Charlemagne, you ain't black. He was saying it to Charlemagne, you ain't black, you don't vote for me. Here we go.
The almost 20-minute interview, Charlemagne touched on an issue of great concern. Who will be Joe's running mate?
Black people saved your political life in the primaries this year. They have things they want from you, and one of them is a black woman running mate. What do you say to them?
What I say to them is that I'm not acknowledging anybody who is being considered, but I guarantee you there are multiple black women being considered. Multiple.
Charlemagne had a follow-up question, but got interrupted by someone off camera saying their time was up. The radio host instead invited Biden to come back, but Joe's response was off-putting.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
The comment may have been directed.
Now look, hold on. Now do you think we could? Because I'm gonna play it again. I need everybody to hear that one. Do you think we could put the mic up to the TV or something?
Yeah,
Or is
see
it?
if we can do that. Let's try.
Let me see.
See if that'll help.
Yeah, slag about this. I know some of y'all probably couldn't hear. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna see if we could put the mic up to the TV just to see if it'll play. See if y'all can hear it.
I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
That's what he said. I'm gonna play it one more time so y'all can hear it. And this is not the only thing. I got more as well. I mean, we're gonna get into it.
We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Y'all hear that?
I think they were able to hear it. I think they were able
I really hope y'all heard that. I really hope. Man, I wish I could pull that chat up on my phone. But I really hope y'all heard this. But what Joe Biden was saying, and for those of y'all that don't know, for context sake, is a radio personality, interviewer goes by the name of Charlemagne the God. Some of y'all know him, The Breakfast Club. Anyways, he was interviewing Joe Biden sometime earlier this year, and Joe Biden, in the middle of Charlemagne talking, he cuts Charlemagne off and he says, "Well, if you have a problem whether you want to vote for me or Trump, well, you ain't black." Oh, so like it. If we could turn the camera back, yeah. But basically, he told Charlemagne, if you got a problem deciding whether you want to vote for Trump or me, then you ain't black. Like, are you kidding me? Then I'm not black. Like, I'm not black. So you're gonna base like what I am based off something that's political? I'm not black because I decided to vote. Let me tell you something, and I hope Joe Biden is hearing this. I really hope Joe Biden or somebody in his camp hears this. I'm not voting. First of all, I didn't vote for you, and I'm not voting for you. I'm not voting, period. And it has nothing to do with me being black. I'm not voting for you because the Bible says not to do it.
That's right.
That's why we're not voting for you as an Isupk. I don't give a damn what you say. We ain't black because we ain't vote for you. And like, good night. Like, the nerve of these devils to sit up here and say stuff like that, you know? Like, these devils really said that. You don't vote for me, like, but I just want like our people to understand how what's the Bible say? Puffed up and proud. Like, I want you to understand how bold our oppressors are. Like, for our oppressors to get that bold, that says a lot, not only about them, but it also says something about us as a people. Because for Joe Biden to get up and say, well, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Like, to even make a statement like that. Like, you had something you want to say?
You know, what he's saying in essence is that he owns you.
Whew.
He owns you, and if you don't go along with what he says, then you're not what you think you are. You know, like he's defining who you are at the same time. He's telling you that he owns you.
That's exactly what. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. That's exactly what he's saying. That's ultimately what he's saying. He's saying, I own you. Took words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what you're saying. Excuse me. That's exactly what he's saying. He's saying that I own you. Excuse me. He's saying that he owns us. Basically, that's what he's saying. If you don't vote for me, and what's the name? Kamala Harris. I hope I'm pronouncing that heathen's name right. But but yes, she also did something herself, and this is what I'm going into about how it's feminine. Now, I want y'all to understand Kamala Harris. Now, I don't have the video clip of her actually saying this. I couldn't find it, but I know she said this. In her speech, campaign, or whatever, for her to try to relate to black people, do y'all know what she said? This devil said, well, when I was in college, you know, I used to smoke weed and listen to Tupac and Snoop Dogg. I'm like, I done threw my phone down. Like, well, I want to call them some words right now, man. Like, how you going to just, but this is what I'm talking about. And this is how they treat us as black people. I need for us to understand something. This is how these oppressors, this is how they view us. This is how they see us. They feel that if we don't vote for them, or if we don't vote, period, we ain't black. You know, we sellouts. And I guess smoking weed and listening to Tupac, somehow or another that's, I don't know, that's supposed to equate to us being black? Like only black people listen to Tupac and Snoop Dogg? What? I'm not understanding this. Only black people smoke weed, which is unlawful, don't get me wrong, but I'm not understanding this. So you smoking weed and listening to Tupac, somehow or another is supposed to, now you're supposed to relate to us? Not that you went to college or anything like that, or a business owner, none of that. But you smoking weed and listening to Tupac, now somehow or another is supposed to make you relate to black people. Like, do you know how offensive that is? Do you know how offensive that is? Like, she might as well pulled out some grape Kool-Aid, some watermelon in a Jet magazine or something. Like, like to do something like that. Like that is wicked. Like to even say something like that. But that's what I mean by it's all in our emotions, because our oppressors are always doing things to try to get us on how we feel. So they'll say things, they'll do things, they'll sing and dance, they'll sing and dance, and they'll talk about how they listen to certain music to try to get us in our feelings and make us feel good. So now we feel good. Now we feel like, okay, well, we can relate to such and such. You know what? I'm going to vote for him. But here's the problem with that, though. Because it's based off your feelings and your emotions, here's the problem with that. What happens when you get upset one day? Think about that. Now, just take that same concept and put that in the nation of Israel. Think about that, Yanazar. Think about that for a second. Like, if we took that same mentality and said, well, all right, well, we're going to start voting now. We're not going to start voting. And now we get upset with a brother. You know what we're going to do? You know what we're going to do next? As soon as we get upset, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do the same thing that our brothers and sisters did to Christ when they crucified him. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the same thing because we upset, because somebody said we can't eat shrimp, crab, pork, lobster. Now, you know what? We're going to get rid of them. We're going to vote them out. But that's what it is. That's what they do, because it's all based in your feelings and your emotions. It's very feminine. Very feminine. Drop that, brother. If you will. Get me Matthew. Oh, Salaki, we already did that. Give me Hebrews 7 and 14. Hebrews 7 and 14. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just wicked, man. Like, this place is just wicked. And this is something that we're not supposed to be a part of. We're not supposed to be voting. We're not supposed to be voting. We're not supposed to be putting any other man before us. And let alone Thanksgiving. Go ahead, brother. You got
mm-hmm. The book of Hebrews, chapter 7, mm-hmm. verse 14.
Yeah.
For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
What?
It is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
Judah, for those of y'all don't know, this is the tribe that Christ was from, the so-called American Negro. This is what Christ came from. This is where he comes from. He comes from the tribe of Judah. So you so-called black man, that's who's supposed to be in position of authority. That's who's supposed to be in a position of power. That's who we're supposed to be. We're not supposed to be voting at all. But if I had to pick, it'd be Christ. That's who I'm voting for. If I had to. That's who's supposed to be in the position of authority. That's who's supposed to. And I want to also bring this up as well about voting. Remember earlier when I was saying about the three problems that's wrong with voting? Well, that third thing was it being unbrotherly. I don't know if I've mentioned that or not. It's unbrotherly. And you know how it's unbrotherly? I'll explain to you how it's unbrotherly. I want to see if anybody knows that. How is it unbrotherly? I'm asking for any officers in the room or anybody online. How is it unbrotherly? How is voting unbrotherly? Because we've already brought up, how it's unlawful and how it's feminine. But how is voting in America being unbrotherly? How does that cause that to be unbrotherly? Does anybody know? Anybody want to take a stab at it?
If I may, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's kind of like you're selling out your brother.
Mm-hmm.
You giving allegiance to your enemy or to another nation over your brother. So that by law is unbrotherly. Mm-hmm. If you give your allegiance to another nation over your brother, then you're being unbrotherly in that respect.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And let me add on. Let me add on to what you were saying. Not only is that true, here's another example of how it also causes us to go against one another. Well, when you're voting, there's only two things you could choose, right? Democrat, Republican, red, blue. And we have brothers and sisters that choose to participate in this. For those of us who choose to participate in this in America by voting, we choose, black people, we vote Democrat, do we not? We vote Democrat. We've been doing that since I'm going to say early 60s, mid 60s with Lyndon Baines Johnson. Yeah. Which is another thing I'm going to bring up as well in the next few weeks. I'm going to talk on that as well. But we choose a vote. When we choose a vote, we're choosing between Democrat or Republican. And like I said before, and when you vote, you're not just voting for, that one thing. When you vote for that person, you're voting for everything, all their policies that they either have or they're trying to bring in. And how that causes us to be unbrotherly towards one another is you'll have brothers and sisters that'll look at one another with a side eye because this brother decided, okay, well, I'm going to vote Republican this year. Or this brother or this sister may decide, well, I'm going to vote Democrat, Republican. And they're constantly at war with one another. They're already at war with one another by themselves without us even being a part of that. This is why I said earlier, we're not a democracy. We don't vote things, and we don't do that in the nation of Israel. So that's what I'm saying. That causes us to be, unbrotherly. That causes that mischief and that strife against one another because this brother wants to, be a Republican or this brother wants to be a Democrat or whatever. We decide to vote. And who you voting for? And then we do that, and then we go at war with one another behind that. Like, yo, you a coon, you a sellout. How you gonna vote for such and such? How you gonna vote for Trump? How you gonna vote for this? How you gonna vote for Joe Biden? And we just constantly go back and forth. And as a prime example was D.L. Hughley and Ice Cube. I know y'all heard about Ice Cube. I know y'all heard about that one. You had Ice Cube with the was it Platinum Plan? Was that his or was that? I'm
not sure the name of the.
I forget.
Plan. I think it was a Black Plan or something.
I think Platinum Plan was somebody else's, but I forget what his was. But whatever it was called, I mean, I could easily look it up. It's nothing. But regardless, you had Ice Cube. That was, I guess, I'm not going to say he voted for Trump. I'm not going to lie on it, brother. But I guess he has some sort of dealing with the Trump administration. I'll put it that way. So don't get me lying on the brother because he may not have voted. I'm not accusing him of that. But what I'm saying is he has some sort of, conversation with the, you had something to say?
No.
Okay. But he had some sort of, conversation with whether it was with Trump or his administration. And I saw the little interview he did with other people. He said he tried to have a conversation with Joe Biden as well. So Cube was trying to have a conversation with both sides of the party. You see what I'm saying? And I guess DL had an issue with it or whatever. Now these two go back and forth on social media. And I'm looking at the stuff. I'm not even a social media person. But as I look at it, and what our brothers been in the world, D.L. Hughley and Ice Cube, I'm looking at them, two, men who are brothers. I'm looking, I'm like, wow. I said, there it is right there. There it is right there. By us trying to vote and be a part of this, it's got our own people at war with one another. And this is just voting. Voting. Like, I'm not talking like somebody slept with somebody's girl and somebody stole money from them or stepped on somebody's shoe. Voting. The same guy that says, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. That got us fight. That has us fighting and warring with one another because we choose to reject what God said, because we choose to reject what the Bible said. That has us warring with one another, man. That's ridiculous. Go ahead.
If I may, sir. For clarification purposes, people outside of the ISUPK are always compromising themselves for the love of the oppressor. And from what I've understood, Ice Cube was trying to hedge his bets so that he can have influence with whoever won the presidency. He had a so-called economic plan for black people that I'm sure, without a doubt, would include self-enrichment. Because these people outside of the UPK, this has proven to be true time and time again. Like, whenever they make a deal with the oppressor, they always benefit from the deal, that individual or that individual group. But the rest of the people are left out in the cold. So basically what Ice Cube was doing was he was trying to promote his plan to either the Republicans or the Democrats, and the Democrats rejected the meeting with him, and the Republicans accepted the meeting with him because they know that they needed more black votes.
Ooh, man, give him a hand. You're absolutely right. You hit the nail on the head with that, man. You're absolutely right. I'm glad, and I love the last part that you said. You said because the Republican Party knew they needed the black votes. I'm glad you said that because even with that, I think it was his name, Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was another one that came out. Lil Wayne. I heard 50 Cent say something, but 50 do so much trolling and joking. I can't take him serious for nothing. But I know Lil Wayne came out. Now I guess he's supposed to be in support of Trump too. Like, it's ridiculous. And whether they're paying them or not, that I'm not even concerned about that. The fact that you even associate yourself with something like that.
If I may say,
Go ahead, speak on it, man.
See, the thing about black folks that's not in the UPK, and particularly those in the entertainment business, whether it's consciously or unconsciously, they want white people to love them, to support their businesses and stuff. That is either an intended goal, or an underlying objective, is to get white people to love them so that they could make money and they could get financing. You see, that's how I see all of them, because that's proven to be true in every instance where our people have tried to deal with the oppressor.
Oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. It's all about a dollar. It's all about the cream, man. It's all about that. You can go from what's his name, Ice Cube. You can go back to Kanye West. I mean, it's all the same thing, man. Martin Luther King, go all the way back. And yes, that's exactly where we can go. Martin Luther King. I told you, like, this thing goes back. I know, this ain't got nothing to do with brotherhood or history, but we've been speaking so far. We have just from voting alone, we done touched on the law, and we done touched on brotherhood. And now you done brought that up. I can go all the way back to, like you said, Martin Luther King, or with Lyndon Baines Johnson's with the Voting Rights Act. That's one of the amendments. That's something else. Like I said, this is only part one. There's a lot more that I got coming. It's just so much information that I know I can't get everything in tonight. I don't even have the time. But it's so much more that I'm just going to bring out in part two. It's just so much. Go ahead. I know you got something you want to say.
The Voting Rights Act is something that I always speak on, because the Voting Rights Act in itself was a trick. And I'm going to prove it to you easily. In 1964, when they passed the Voting Rights Act, later on in that year, in October, I believe, of the same year, 1964, they passed what is called the Immigration Act. And the Immigration Act actually was put into place to nullify the gains that we would get under the Voters' Rights Act. By this, I say that by this means, the Immigration Act allowed other nations to immigrate to America that wasn't allowed to come to America before. And they were the ones who benefited from the Voters' Rights Act more than we did because they were allowed to come over here and set up businesses in our community.
Good night, man. Give that preaching prophet a
Destroy
hand.
our community. That's what they did.
Man, I swear. I don't know if you read my notes or if you in my head, but you testing on stuff that I'm supposed to be testing on part 2. I can't even mess with that tonight. I want to get in that so bad because that goes into the history of voting. I want to do that so bad. But I'm going to wait. I ain't going to put everything out right now. It's just I'm not going to put too much information out tonight. But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right when you say that, man. And it's just so wicked because that just shows you the wickedness of our oppressors. It's like a backhanded compliment because they'll give you one thing and then a few months in the same year, something else that nullifies that, as you said, because all those fundings and things we were supposed to have gotten, we didn't get any of that. Or what we were supposed, the little bit that we did get, there was so much more we was supposed to have gotten. But because of other things that came out there in place, and I love the word you said, immigrants. And they'll say it like that for a reason because it encompasses so many other people. Because when you say immigrants isn't just, Hispanics and people trying to cross the borders. Immigrants is also the Moabites, Chinese, the Arabs. There's so many other people. East Indian, yes. And so when you take stuff like that and you fast forward into today's time, look at your neighborhoods. You got these chicken shacks. Who's working in there? Or who owns them anyway? You got Arabs, then you got the gas stations. It'll either be Elamites or it'll be the Hamites. It'll be either or. And that's all you see. You don't see no more mom and pop stores. Come on. But all this is a result of integration. We should have never did that. But following after Martin Luther King, following after these false leaders, man. Following after that has just destroyed us. All the things that we had beforehand. But we thought we could get it all by voting. When beforehand, we didn't do that by voting. We didn't do that with voting. But somehow or another, we have taught, listening to Martin Luther King, our Christian leaders and our Christian pastors, your TD takes and your theft your dollars. We've been listening to them and your Martin Luther Kings that we now think, well, voting is the right. Voting is the way to go. We got to vote. We got to vote to go and do this. When you look at any of these other nations of people, when they have an issue, they don't go and vote. Oh, no, they don't go and do that. Why do you think you've never heard of the China, what do they call them? The Chinese man vote or the Arab vote or anything like that? It's never, think about that. I want my people, the people who may be watching this right now or later on, if you vote or if you voted before, think about when you see these campaign ads and all this stuff, which that's gonna bring me. That's another video I gotta play too. That's gonna hurt. That hurt my soul. But when you see these campaign ads and all this stuff, they're always targeting black people, specifically black women. They're always trying to come at us for some reason. But you never see them gearing that stuff towards these other nations of people. You don't see that for East Indians and Arabs and Africans. You gotta ask yourself why. Why are they always trying to come at us? What is that? Because you know what? Those other nations of people, they don't need this stuff to vote. They don't need these policies. Civil rights wasn't for them. That was for us. Because we needed this stuff. God, you got me in civil rights. God, dog. I didn't even mean to go into history, but go ahead.
If I may, sir. These other nations, and what you brought up is a heavy point that needs to be emphasized because these are the nations, although their vote is not wanted or they don't chase the vote of these other nations have greater economic power than we do. Mm-hmm. They came over here and set up shop in our communities. They didn't come up here and set up shop in the oppressors community. They set up shop in our community, and within a couple of generations, they were over us. So that's another thing that you have to look at to understand the whole weakness of us voting in this system. It has not benefited us. It has benefited the other nations more than it has benefited us, even though we come out in greater numbers.
Oh, good night. That's ridiculous, man. And we 12 to 13% of the population, and it's just ridiculous. So, oh my gosh, I don't even know. I can go on for days with this one. All right, if you will, what you holding now?
I'm holding Hebrews 14. I'm 7 and 14.
I think I want to go. Give me Psalms 118. I'm look on with you too. So bear with me. I just like to look at stuff when when somebody's reading. That's just me. Give me Psalms 118. And let me see. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna also try to get this other video clip ready too. I got to play this one, and I wish to God we can get it on the screen because they need to see that one. But
what verse you need?
118 and 8. 118 and 8.
The book of Psalms, chapter 118, verse 8.
This is what we should be doing as Israelites. Okay, so we've already been bringing out how it's unlawful to vote, how we shouldn't be voting. We already have that. That's Christ. All right, we've already been going in on that, how it's unlawful, how it's feminine, how it causes us to be unbrotherly towards one another. But this right here is this is probably like the number one thing, because this is just so disrespectful of what we do. This right here is something that is heavy. This is something that one of the main reasons why we should not be doing this. And we don't even understand what we're doing. But it's okay. I get it. But we're gonna show you tonight. Go ahead, read when you're ready.
The book of Psalms, chapter 118, verse 8. It is better to trust in the Lord.
Trust in who?
The Lord.
One more time.
The Lord.
Go ahead.
It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man.
So when you're voting, what are you doing? Say it. Go ahead. When you are voting, what are you doing? For any black, Hispanic, Native, Indian man or woman, when you go to those voting polls, I understand it's over with now. But for those of us who voted or who's going to be voting in future tense, whether it's for presidency, local Congress, mayor, class president, whatever. For those of y'all who are voting, read what it says.
It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man.
Because when you're voting, you're putting confidence in that. We are putting our confidence in the system. The same system that says we wasn't even a whole man. The same system, that Constitution. That's the same thing. And we're so caught up in this, what is it? The voters, the right to act to vote, or the act to, what is it? The right to vote, Salakia. The right to vote. We're so caught up in stuff in that. We're putting our confidence in man. We're putting not only any man, but in our oppressors, the people that are hurting us directly. The same people that tell us if we don't vote for them, then we ain't black. Those same people. We're putting our confidence in them. We're putting our same confidence in that and them in that same system that says we won't need a whole man. But we're so daggone happy because we get a vote, the right to vote, the Voters Act, because that's now put in the amendment, which is in the Constitution, the same Constitution that says we won't need a whole man. God, dog. Which I'm going to be bringing that out in part 2 as well. We're going to get the history of that, the Constitution. We're going to get the history of that one, but we're putting our confidence in that. And you know what else, Young Nazar? You know what the biggest issue with that is this? Because where should we be putting our faith at? Where should we be putting our faith in? Or who, rather? Who should we be putting our faith in? Our faith and our trust. Who should we be putting our faith and our trust in?
Most High in Christ.
Damn right, the Lord. That's who we should be putting our faith and our trust in. So for all you so-called Christians who are out there that are so happy because you voted and now, what's the name? Joe Biden is now, our president is now going to be in the White House. I want you to understand something, what you have just now done, what you have just proven. Oh, go ahead. Excuse me. I want you to understand what you have just now done. What you have just now have done. You have now put your faith and your trust in the Lord. You have now put your faith and your trust in man and not the Lord. That's unlawful. That's something we're not supposed to be doing. And that is so disrespectful. I'll read it again. The book of Psalms 118, verse 8. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. Verse 9. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes. This is what we're not supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be putting our trust and our faith in these devils and these heathens. But that's exactly what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing. By voting and doing things of that nature, that's what we're doing. We're siding with our oppressors. So it doesn't matter whether you're left wing or right wing or chicken wing. It doesn't matter. It's two different wings on the same bird. That's leading, and that same bird is leading us to hell. So it doesn't matter. So you're a liberal left, Republican, left wing, right wing. It doesn't matter. We shouldn't be doing that. But because by voting, we're putting our faith in man when our faith and our trust should be in the Lord. That's just how that's how disrespectful that is. I mean, we don't even understand that as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that by doing stuff like that, it's almost like a slap in the face to the Most High. Brother, if you will, just get me Proverbs 3 and 5.
3 and 5?
Yeah, Proverbs 3 and 5. Let me just stay on that for a little while. But that's just how this, as a matter of fact, if we will, let me see if I could. Just, so like, you already turned the page? No sweat.
I got it.
You still got, okay, cool. Because what I'm going to do, and I'm going to probably go back and read over 118 anyway, Psalms 118. I want our people to understand something. I'm getting ready to play a video. 1 second. Now, this is who we're putting our trust and our faith in. You still got 118, or you got the new scripture?
I got the new one, but
You got okay. Well, just hold Proverbs and go back to Psalms 118 and 8. I want to read this over again while I pull up this video.
The book.
Oh, so like, 1 second. I just want to get this stuff situated. I need for my people to see this one. Now, if you could, matter of fact, just drop Proverbs, but keep where you at. Keep Psalms 118 and 8. And what we getting ready to do, if you could, I'm getting ready to show everybody a video. So now for the people who are online listening or on your phone, like I said, just bear with us. We don't have the proper technology right now. So what we're going to try to see, we're going to turn the camera towards the TV because we want to make sure you guys can see it. But we're going to also see if we're going to try to get the volume right to see if you guys can hear it as well. But this is who we're putting our faith and our trust in. I'm getting ready to play the video. So like it. If you could just turn the camera towards the TV. Yeah, that's right. So what we're going to do, like I said, we're just going to turn the camera real quick. Just point it towards the TV. Hopefully everybody can see it. I need a... And when you get it set, just look at YouTube. Just see if it's, set or anything. Can they see it?
Yeah, they got it.
Okay. All right. Now, if you could, just try to put the mic towards it like you did last time. Yeah, we're going to try because I need for my people to see this one. So any so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian man or woman, if you have voted, this month, last month, or whatever, if you believe in voting, well, this is why you shouldn't. This is what we do. By voting, we put our confidence in people like this. And I'm getting ready to show you. Now, this is what the Democrat Party has done. And the reason why I'm banging on Democrats so hard is because us as black people, that's who we vote for. Even though we shouldn't be voting for neither party, but I know that's who we vote for. And you said, what you say, Young, is up 70%?
Yeah, 70% of our
You can talk to the mic.
as a whole, and 70% of the black men and 95% of the black women voted for Biden.
Voted for Biden. So now this is who we voted for. Now I want to show everybody this. So if you're listening, just pay attention. Watch this.
Did we get your attention? Good.
So, you really not gonna vote? You know it's more than just the president on the ballot, right? Check it.
A district attorney decides who to prosecute,
Including whether or not to go after dirty cops.
Do you know who elects the DA? We do, but you don't wanna vote.
Want trades and coding taught in our schools? Then vote for the school boards that will prepare us for the job market.
want to end cash bail? Well, then vote for the sheriffs and county officials that feel the same way you do.
But you talking about, they gonna pick who they gonna pick, shawty.
Black lives don't matter to some of our current elected officials.
If they matter to you, then don't let other people decide who's gonna run your community. Get your booty to the poll. Get your booty to the poll.
Get your booty to the poll.
For information on how and where to vote, as well as resources to find out who's running where you live, go to getyourbootytothepoll.com.
Now,
God, I never seen that before.
Salaki, if you will, Bubba, just I want to play the video one more time, but I don't want YouTube to flag this down. Just because I'm upset. Just turn.
They made that public, so I don't think there's nothing wrong.
They well, you never know. Yeah, just turn the camera back, man. I'm already irritated, man. I'm just
Once is enough, really.
yeah. Just let me know if it's situated on. Is it angled right on the?
Okay, we can't see the screen now.
Okay, that's
Cannot. You want me to put it where you can see the screen again?
no. Just sit. Well, it's facing me.
It's back.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Now I want y'all to see that. I hold on. Let me check this out. 'Cause I know people in the comment section right now.
That is crazy.
I know they are. I want to read these comments real quick. Hold on, give me a second. Hold on, let me check this out. But this is ridiculous, man. But this is our oppressors now. I want this to sizzle in your spirit, as Country Rain would say. This is ridiculous. That's your Democratic Party now. Democratic Party. That's them. They did that. This is what they do to get us to vote. They want. God, I can't even talk, man. Like that, because I'm just irritated. Like that is how sad this place is, man. They try to get us to vote so much. Like we want to vote so bad that nonsense like that. What they say? Get your booty to the poll. Is that what these strippers are saying now? To get us to vote, they want us to vote so bad that they put that out there, that ad out there to get your booty to the poll. So we as black people, we done went from the stripper poll to the voting poll. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And you wonder why the Lord done struck a damn plague out here on us as America. You wonder why the Lord done struck us with a plague called the coronavirus. I hope he struck us with 20 times more than what he did with Egypt. I don't give a damn. Because we want to vote so much. And we want to put our confidence in that. We're putting our confidence in that. Are you kidding me, man? It's ridiculous. Like, you got strippers up here. Get your booty to the poll. Now, again, for those of y'all that, that didn't see it or, didn't hear it, you could just, I'm not going to play the video game. It's disgusting. But so I apologize for y'all that got kids or children or whatever. But I had to put that information out there, So if you can, in later time, you could just go on YouTube and just, type in, I don't even know. What's the name of that? I don't even know. I don't know. I'm just disgusted. But you can put it up at home or online. Get your booty to the poll. You can go on YouTube and pull that up. But it's disgusting. And then at the end of the video, I should have played the whole video, but at the end of the video it says, "I'm Joe Biden and I approve this message." So nobody was making that up. Because I was thinking when I saw that, I'm like, well, maybe, these devils will try to distance themselves from that. No, they didn't. But that's how wicked this place is, man. But you mean to tell me we're going to reject God? We're going to reject God. And we're going to choose to vote and put our confidence in man? God, dog. And Giannis, you said you never seen that.
Never. I heard of it, but I had never seen it, actually seen that video before. Never. That is the most ridiculous. You mean to tell me that video was ordained, should I say, or was okayed by the Democratic Party?
Well, it wasn't used as no, I can't say it wasn't, because it was used as a campaign ad. Now, I'm not saying Joe Biden put that out there, but the fact that's what I'm saying. The fact that it's out there and you didn't denounce that, there's no way that didn't hit your. But nevertheless, man. But that just goes to show you how far we are willing to go to vote, to do something that the Lord said not to do. That just goes to show how far we're willing to go. Like it's so much easier to just not do it, to just not vote. They keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. But we want to be a part of this. I don't know the term to call it, but we want to be a part of this system so bad, this evil system so bad, so much that we are willing to go that far. Good night. You still got Psalms 118, or you went back to Proverbs? Okay, just finish Psalms 118 out, and then we'll go back to Proverbs.
The book of Psalms, chapter 118, verse 8. It is better to trust in the Lord
Mm-hmm.
than to put confidence in man.
It is better to trust in the Lord to put confidence in man. You know why? Who could tell me why it's better to put your trust and faith in the Lord than man? Who could tell me why it's better? We just showed you. Who could tell me? Why it's so much better to put your trust and faith in the Lord than in man, than put your confidence in man. You know why? Because Jonas, as you brought out earlier, think back to the voting, the right to vote. Think about that. Think about that act. Think about that. Like you said yourself. What happened right after that? Later on that year.
Immigration.
Yep. They came back to do something to nullify that. Establish in the back. But see, you don't have to worry about that. When you put your trust and your faith in the Lord, when you put your faith and your trust in the Lord, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. You don't have to worry about having a wicked leader or anything like that. You don't have to vote. You put your trust and your faith in the Lord has already had things worked out. That's why we as the Isupk, we don't vote. We choose not to vote. You know, we choose not to vote. Go ahead, brother. Any more on that one?
That's it on
Okay.
6 and 8.
Right, okay.
18 and 8.
Yeah, now get me Proverbs 3 and 5. Now we'll go there.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord.
Here we go again. Trust in the Lord. As we just read in Psalms, trust in the Lord. Same thing. Keep going.
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart.
Stop. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, meaning what? First, let me ask you this question. How do you trust in the Lord? Let's start there. How do you trust in the Lord? It says with all thine heart, but how do you trust in the Lord? What should you do or not do? Where should you start if you want to trust in the Lord? Where should you start? If you want to trust in the Lord and put your faith in the Lord instead of putting your faith in these voting polls, you know, whether it be the stripper poll or the voting polls. Go ahead.
First, you have to repent and do the law that the Most High put on the earth for you to live by.
Absolutely.
But that's just the beginning.
That's just the beginning. That's where you first start, by putting your faith and your trust in the Lord. First, by repenting. Furthermore, by keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. That's where you start at, putting your trust and your faith in the Lord. And it says, what after that? In all thy heart?
And yeah, with all thine heart.
In all thy heart, meaning what? For the people listening online. With all thy heart, meaning what? Because when the Bible says heart in this context, what is it talking about? What is it talking about, anybody?
It's talking about the mind. Let your mind be consumed with this righteousness and with this way of living.
That's exactly what it's talking about. That's exactly what it's talking about. Go ahead, finish it out.
And lean not.
And what?
And lean not.
Meaning don't depend on. Keep
unto
going.
Thine own
What?
understanding.
What?
Thine own.
Thy own understanding. Lean not on your own understanding. You trust in the Lord with all your heart, with all your mind. And lean not on your own understanding. The reason why you got to focus that on the Lord is because, as I stated before, the Lord has already set this stuff up for us. The Lord has already had these things established. So what are you doing in your mind where you say, well, let me do it myself, you know, because I feel like we can vote? Because, see, when you lean on your own understanding, it'll have you doing stuff like that we put up on the TV, on the monitor. When you lean on your own understanding, you think, okay, well, let me get my booty to the poll. Got strippers out here doing campaign ads. That's what happens when you lean on your own understanding. When you lean on your own understanding, have you out there in them voting polls and you voting for Democrat or Republican. Have you going back and forth with your brother, fighting with your sister because he or she voted for a Democrat or Republican. That's what happens when you lean on your own understanding.
That's right.
That's why we don't do that. We don't lean on your own understanding. In the Isupk, we have our own militant. We have our own structure. We have everything set up and designed for. It's already set up. We have our own government already established. We have everything that you need. We have everything, so we don't need to lean on our own understanding. We don't do that. Go ahead, brother. Is there any more on that one? Was that the end of that? Now drop that. Now give me the book of Lamentations. Give me Lamentations 4 and 17. Let me see if I can pull that up with you.
I got it.
All right, give me a second. Let me get it real quick. Like I said, I just like to read along. Like, this is ridiculous, man. I tell you, man. Like, like just for the past few weeks, man, I've been looking at stuff, and it's like the more research I've been doing, like just, man, it's just wicked, man. Like, it just amazes me at the extent that not only what our oppressors do, because I understand our oppressors going to that extent, but it's the fact that we as blacks and Hispanics, we don't see these things and we don't get angry enough to say, you know what, how about we not do it or separate? Like, for some reason, that doesn't seem to click with us. It doesn't matter how bad it gets. It never clicks in our mind to, well, maybe we ought to separate. Maybe we ought to, like, for some reason, we don't look at what we done before in the past in history and reflect on that. We don't do that, you know? It's just ridiculous, man. All right, read when you're ready.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, meaning Israel, go ahead. Our eyes have yet failed for our vain help.
For our vain help. For our vain help. Meaning what? Because we're always looking for help. We're always at the bottom. We're always in need. Says our vain help. What is it talking about? As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. Who could tell me what that means about vain help? Vain help. Who can please tell me what that means? Vain help. It's two different words, vain help. Go ahead, brother.
It means that we're looking for help from other nations or help from where it's not going to come from. It's useless to look.
Say it again.
Help.
Say that last part.
Useless.
Bingo. That's the word. Useless. Go ahead. Continue.
It's useless to look for help from these other nations because it's not going to come from them.
Nope.
They're not going to help us at all.
At all.
They're going to help destroy us. That's their job. That's what they do, to consume us. We're the prey. We are God's chosen people. We're the ones that the other nations prey upon. That's what it is, and it's been that way for thousands of years. That's one of the main lessons of the Bible.
Damn right. You're absolutely right. Absolutely. Give him a hand. Absolutely right. And that key word you said at the end was useless, because when you look that word up, vain, it just means no result or useless. Same thing. It's like having cattle or a chicken that can't lay eggs. It's useless. It's of no use. It makes you no profit. No, it produces no results. And that's the same thing that we get with voting. It's vain. It's vain for us to vote. It's vain for us to vote as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. As a matter of fact, okay, I want to ask a question to people who, of course, blacks, who may vote, who believe in voting. I want to know, what has that actually helped? By us voting, what have we actually accomplished? Like, show me, has us voting helped with police reform? As they like to say, has that stopped getting us from getting high and killing one another? Or has that, or has that even, has that ever stopped the police from murdering us? Let me start there. Let's start there. Like, what has that done by us voting? Please show me. I would like to know. Because constantly, you'll always have somebody tell you, well, our ancestors fought and died for us to vote. So you should vote. You should not vote. But tell me, please, what has that gotten us by voting? Please tell me. I'll wait. I want to know. Where has that gotten us? It's gotten us nowhere. Go ahead. Read from the top. As for us.
As for us, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation.
Who?
For a nation.
One more time.
For a nation that could not save us.
But could not save us. And you know why it's also saying that? Because as we were earlier, I think it was Psalms 118, when we put our faith and we put our trust in the Lord, how we're supposed to be doing, but we put our trust and our confidence in man. And therefore, because of that, this nation cannot save us. We're putting our trust and our faith, our confidence in a nation that cannot save us, when we should be putting our faith and our trust in the Lord. That's what we should be doing. We should be putting our faith and our trust into the Lord. And you know how we would do that, Young Lazar? You know how we would do that? By us doing that, keeping these laws and statutes and commandments of the Bible, you know what also that will bring on? Like if we as blacks and Hispanics, if we say, you know what, forget this. We ain't going to vote no more. We're going to do it God's way. We ain't going to do it our way. We're going to do it God's way. You know what that will also fix? By us not voting, if we had that mindset, you know what that would fix? That would fix a lot of this stuff about us having brotherhood. That would fix that. We'll stop fighting one another because we wouldn't vote, because we wouldn't be voting. We wouldn't have time to fight a brother or sister because he's a Democrat or he's a Republican. We wouldn't have time to fight or stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Then we could actually focus on better things. And you know who we could go to? If our brothers and sisters, if we would have joined the ISUPK, you know what that would do? Instead of us having to go to our oppressors and talk to them and vote for things, you know who we can go? We can go to the heads of this nation. We can go to the generals. We could talk to them. We wouldn't have to vote. Things would get solved. I'm going to tell you that right now. If I could sidebar for a second. In the nation of Israel, in the ISUPK, we don't vote. We don't have to vote to get things done. If a brother or a sister does something to one another, we don't have to turn around and go and vote. We don't have to get stuff like that done. We don't have to vote things in or out. We have a proper system by using the Bible of how to get things done, or how to get things dealt with. If I got an issue going on with my brother or my sister, I don't have to sit here and vote. I ain't got to vote nobody in and out. I don't have to do that. I go to my brother. I go to he and he alone. I don't have to do things like that. Keep going, brother. Verse 18.
Verse 18. They hunt our steps.
They do what?
They hunt our steps.
You bought them, John. They hunt our steps. Keep going.
That we can know that we cannot go in the streets.
That we cannot go in the streets, because that's all you see. That's all we see every time I turn on the TV. You know what I'm saying? Every time I turn on TV or I get on my cell phone or whatever, I got to look at Botham Jean. Brother sitting in his house eating ice cream or whatever on a couch. Some devil walks in there and shoot him. She thinks that's her own place. I got to look at stuff like that. I got to look at, what's his name? Brother that was choked out. George Floyd. I got to look at George Floyd. Ahmaud Arbery. I got to look at these young men, these men that are being killed, choked out, killed in the streets, and we can't get no justice. This is our oppressors. But this is what we're putting our faith and our trust in. Like, I understand, you may look at this and say, well, what does Lamentations 4:18 have to do with that? About they hunt our steps. It has everything to do with voting. Everything. Because these same people who we're voting for, who we're voting in, they could care less. Because what was Kamala Harris and Joe Biden when George Floyd was choked out? When Eric Garner was killed, when he was choked out as well. Now, that's another brother choked out. Trayvon Martin's, Ahmaud Arbery. Like, where were they at then? I didn't hear nothing about them. I didn't hear nothing from that. You know why? Because they was too busy with the Crime Bill Act, having our brothers and sisters locked up. But we gonna vote for them though, just because we can't stand Donald Trump, when we shouldn't be voting for neither one of them. That's how bad it is. They hunt our steps, that we can't go in our own damn streets. But you want us to go in the streets to go to the voting poll? Stop it. Stop. Keep going.
Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come.
For our end is come. Go on, drop down where I want. 19. That's where I want to get to.
Our persecutors.
Who?
Persecutors.
One more time.
Persecutors.
Our persecutors. Our persecutors. I love the Bible for saying that. Our persecutors. It didn't say our oppressors. It didn't just say any old word. It could have said it. But it said specifically, our persecutors. Let's look that word up, Yanazar. Persecutors. I bet you I beat you to it. Persecute or persecutors. I mean, but I guess persecutor work. Just read whenever you get it. Let's get the definition of this word, persecute.
Persecute. A verb.
You got it's like it. Yeah. Just make sure they can hear you on the.
Con one con. To persecute, or persecute. To harass.
What?
To harass.
One more time.
To harass.
What the black man constantly go through all the time when they get pulled over by the police?
To harass or punish in a manner designed to injure, grieve, or afflict.
Oh my Jesus. This is why the Bible calls them persecutors. Persecutors. You still got a definition? That's heavy. I'm going to have you read that again. Read that. For anybody listening, look up the word persecute. We're in the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verses 19. It says, our persecutors. Please read that definition one more time.
To harass.
In the mic.
To harass or punish in a manner designed to injure, grieve, or afflict, specifically to cause to suffer because of belief.
And it says to cause to suffer. Now, who does that sound like? Who's going through the suffering? Who's going through the pain and the harassment in America? Who's going through that? Who's going through that? Joe Biden, please tell me. Since I'm not black, you know, since I'm not black because I didn't vote for you, I guess I'm not black according to him. Since I didn't vote for you, well, I didn't vote for neither one of y'all devils, but I guess I'm not black. But this scripture right here, who does this sound like? Who does it applies to? Since we didn't vote for you, who does this apply to? It says our persecutors. Who's going through the pain and the harassment and the suffering? I'll tell you who went through that pain. I'll tell you who went through the harassment. I'll tell you who went through the suffering. George Floyd, he went through that pain and that suffering. He damn sure did. When that cop had his knee on his neck, he damn sure was going through that pain and suffering. I know what it's like to get choked on, some water. I done drunk some water too fast and got choked on that. But you mean to tell me a grown ass man, excuse my language, has his foot on my neck, has his knee on my neck? We all know what it's like to go through some choking because you choked on some water or something or some food. But you mean to tell me you got somebody on your neck? This is why the Bible is calling them our persecutors. Our persecutors, the same people who we go and vote for. Because if you don't know, a lot of these so-called police officers, when they get good and retire, you know what they go and do? You know what field they go into? Take a wild guess. When a lot of these police officers get old and they retire, guess what they go and retire? Guess what they go and do? Guess what the other field is they go into? They also go into other parts of law enforcement. They also become judges, lawyers. Some of them probably already got degrees. And you know what else? Read my mind. Guess what else? Guess another field that they go into as well. These are our persecutors. We already said it. But these police officers, a lot of them, when they retire, they also go into not only other parts of law enforcement, they go into something else. Think about the topic we're on. What else they go into? Think about the topic we're on.
Well, we dealing with persecution.
Mm-hmm. Right. These are persecutors. Think about what else they go into. We're talking about voting. They also go into politics as well. Somebody tell me if I'm lying. They go into politics as well. The same people who we decide to vote for. But these are our persecutors. And we choose to vote for them, though. Go ahead, man. Read that from the top, if you will.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of heaven.
Whoa. Or swifter. Read that again slowly. Swifter than the what?
Are swifter than the eagle.
Swifter than the eagle. What is this nation's bird? What's this nation's symbol?
The eagle.
For anybody, thank you. The eagle. The eagle. So don't tell me this ain't talking about America. It's Egypt. This is modern day Egypt. House of bondage. What you mean? This is the house of bondage. This is exactly what it's talking about. And all this is in correlation to voting. All this is relating to voting because this is right here. The scripture right here is talking about our oppressors or persecutors, as the Bible says. Our persecutors who we choose to vote for. Because a lot of these individuals are retired Klansmen, in case you didn't know. AKA your David Dukes. And let me keep going. Like a lot of these people who are in law enforcement, who are in politics, we don't even know their background, but this is what they're into. And then we decide to go and vote for them. Go ahead, brother. Keep reading.
They pursued us upon the mountains.
They chased us left and right. Go ahead.
They laid wait for us in the wilderness.
In the wilderness. This is ridiculous, man. This is talking about our oppressors, the same people who we decide to vote for. Drop that, brother, if you will. And I'm going to do one last little short clip of a video. I just want to go some more into this voting. I just want to show you how disrespectful and how they really feel about us, if you will. Let me see. I guess we'll do it one last time, just the camera one last time. We're gonna show you this little clip. Y'all just bear with us while I get this stuff. I already got the video. I'm gonna just go on in. All right, and y'all are okay, cool, no sweat. I like I said, we gonna figure it out because I'm gonna get another camera and. Ain't no sweat. Like I said, we gonna get it. This for our people. They gonna get it. So just bear with us, y'all. Like I said, we ain't got everything like we want to. So if you're online, you watching on your phone, or if you on your computer or your laptop or whatever, or a smart TV, you can just go on YouTube, type in Hillary Clinton hot sauce. Now, I just wanna. This is ridiculous. I just want to show y'all. This is just another video to show you our oppressors and how they feel about us and how they treat us. All right, so if you will, Yanazar, we just gonna put the mic to the TV like we did last time. So just, now, when I first play it, just let me know if you can read it off the So if you can't, just hold it up to the TV and look at the monitor. You ain't gotta do it the entire time, but I just want to see as long as it's reading.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
It's hard to see because it's small.
Okay, let me.
Like that's why I said I wish I could zoom it because you really can't.
I no sweat.
Read it.
As long as they can hear it. I know sweat. Just as long as they can hear it.
Something that you always carry with you. Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Are you getting information right now? Hot sauce in my bag, sweat?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I want you to know people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna play that one more time. You sure they can hear it up there, dog? Yeah. Okay. Okay, no sweat. I'm gonna play this one more time, and I'm gonna speak on it in a second. This is what this devil did.
He said, no, she has to go.
What's something that you always carry with you? Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Are you getting information right now? Hot sauce in my bag, sweat?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I want you to know people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people.
I'm not gonna play the rest of that, but let's fix the camera real quick. Let me talk to him for a bit because this stuff like this is irritating me. I'm gonna wait till the camera gets readjusted before I. Oh, okay. I appreciate that. I'm glad you did that. I didn't even know. Okay. Oh, okay. Good. I appreciate your help tonight too.
Most High in Christ.
But now let me get my words together before I say something. The reason why I'm showing our people this is because I really want us to understand something here. Like earlier today, I showed you the strippers, the campaign ad trying to get us to vote. Then I showed you, we showed you Joe Biden, the other thing Joe Biden did. Joe Biden saying that we're not black if we don't vote for him. You know, the reason why I'm bringing these things out is because I want our people to understand how these devils or persecutors, how they feel about us. This is how they talk and this is how they treat us. I want you to understand how disrespectful that was for Hillary Clinton. I want you to understand how disrespectful that was for her to do. When her doing that is no different when Kamala Harris says she smoked weed and listened to Tupac. You know, again, it's dealing with our emotions because they're trying to relate to us. So they try to do and say stuff in the culture, you know, that they think that's appeasing the black people. So we could see that and see that, okay, cool, yeah, they cool, they down with us, all right. And then therefore we, you know, it's gonna want to make us vote for them. Which is why we keep saying that voting is very feminine because it's all based in our emotions and that's all they're trying to do. Like Hillary Clinton got up there on Breakfast Club. They did an interview with her. This was a few years ago, I guess, when she was trying to run for against Trump or whatever. And for those of y'all that don't know, there's a famous singer. She go by the name of Beyonce. She's married to Jay-Z or Sean Carter. Anyway, she had a song. I can't remember the name, but she was talking about how she got a bottle of hot sauce in her bag. So some of y'all, I don't know if you're familiar with that or not, y'all, but anyways, but she was saying that how she got a bottle of hot sauce in her bag. So because Beyonce is a black woman, has a big platform, she's married to Jay-Z, they're like considered to be an icon or whatever. You know, they're like they have a huge fan base. So I guess she felt that, well, if I could do something like that, I can get black people behind me. Because as we stated before, these politicians, they're always trying to get these entertainers when it comes to black people. They don't go to, the college professors and doctors and lawyers, they go get entertainers. That's what they go and do. And then when they don't get the smartest and the best of us. They go and get the Lil Waynes of the world and Ice Cube. And this devil sat up here and said she got a bottle of hot sauce in her bag. Now, I don't know if she actually, I know she did it one time before. I think she actually pulled out a bottle of hot sauce, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But up here, she going to sit here and say, after the one guy asked her, so what do you carry in your bag? Which is an odd question to be asking in the first place. But he going to ask her, what do you carry in your bag? She going to say, oh, I carry hot sauce in my bag. So now that episode's supposed to make her cool, and now we supposed to relate to that? Like, are you kidding me? Like, this bitch, this devil might as well have pulled out, some grape Kool-Aid or something, man. Like, for real. She might as well pulled out some grape Kool-Aid, some Bojangles. Well, we're in the South, so we got Bojangles. But some Bojangles or some nonsense like that. Like, to sit up there and do that, say, oh, hot sauce. Like, think about if Donald Trump, when Donald Trump had that little, I forget what they call it. I don't even know this joint. When he had that joint going, when he was going back and forth with Joe Biden, or when he was running for his campaign, what do you think black people would have said if Donald Trump got it and said, man, look, I care about black people, and pulled out a bottle of hot sauce? Like, watch this, young Lazar. So what if Donald Trump was doing his campaign ad, and he got out there saying, look, I'm here for everybody. I love everybody. Look, black people, and put up a bottle of hot sauce. How in the hell you think we going to take that? You have to put that, like, and I'm saying it like that in a way. I know I'm going to the extreme, but I'm saying it like that for a reason. I'm saying it like that so we can get in the mindset of what they're doing, of what she did. Because this is not something new, and she's not the only one that has done that. Like I said, Kamala Harris did the same thing with the comments about her being in college, listening to Snoop Dogg and smoking weed. It's the same thing. Bill Clinton's playing the saxophone and smoking weed, so now he's supposed to relate to black people. Like, they all do the same thing. It's the same playbook, and it's very disrespectful, and that's how they treat us. And we must learn as blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians we must separate from our oppressors. And one of the ways that we can separate is by not voting. That's one of the biggest ways. But I'm just showing that to show you that how disrespectful that our oppressors can be, that this is the things that they do. They do little stuff like this, and it's always to get us triggered in our feelings and our emotions. Like, oh my gosh. Where we at, Young Lazar?
We in Lamentations 4:19.
You finished that? Or you already read that, or you finished? Okay. All right, just give me 2 Peter. That'll probably be the last one. And then I I might end it like a few minutes early just to see if we got any questions online on the chat or anything. So yeah, just
8:51.
Oh, sure, we got 9 minutes. Okay. So, okay, that's good. Yeah, just give me 2 Peter 1 and 10.
Connor got it.
Give me a second, so like let me get it with you. Let me get it. Just like to read with you. 2 Peter 1 and 10. Read when you're ready.
The book of 2 Peter, chapter 1, verse 10. Wherefore, the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure.
What?
Make your calling and election sure.
And make sure election sure. Oh, man, here we go. With that word election, here we go. That word election, make sure election sure. What is it talking about? Is the Bible telling us to elect? What, huh?
It's telling us about our choices.
Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for, choices. That's exactly what it's talking about. Be mindful of your choices, brother, man, black man and woman. Be careful of your choices. Be mindful. And furthermore, be mindful of what we're doing. What I mean by being mindful, I'm saying because we shouldn't be voting in the first place. So when I'm saying about be mindful of your choices, I'm just saying we shouldn't be voting at all because our choices have already been made for us. And as we read earlier in the previous scriptures, that the Lord has already made this choice. The Lord has already chosen a king for us, and that's Jesus Christ. That's who our Savior is. It's the Lord. That's the true king right there. We're not supposed to be voting for any other oppressor. We're not supposed to vote for anybody else. So if you want to talk about election, or if you want to talk about a vote, or who we put our trust and our faith in, as a priest and prophets of the Isupk, we put our trust and our faith in the Lord. That's what we do about our choices.
That's right.
That's what we do over here. We're not voting with our oppressors. We're not doing any of that. We're not doing any of that. And if you will, I just want to finish off with this last scripture. I'm going to go back to Deuteronomy 17 and 15. I'm going to finish off what we started off with. I just want to get that one. Just want to finish that real quick. You read right?
The book of 2 Peter, chapter 1, verse 10.
It's like it. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what that's my fault. Deuteronomy, I think 17 and 15.
Yeah.
I want to finish that one with the last scripture. I said last scripture. I didn't mean last. I meant as the last scripture.
Oh, kind of.
That's my fault.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 5. Oh, Slaki, I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah, take your time. Ain't no rush.
17.
This is something our people need to get anyway, man. I'm gonna just talk while you get it ready. But this is something that our people need to get. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, and there's so much that I have to show that I wanted to show, but like I said, I just don't have the time to go through everything today. But my main reason for bringing those things up and showing the videos is I need for our people to understand what we are actually doing with voting. Because I understand we think that voting is what's going to change it. We think, you know what, that is wrong if we don't vote. Man, they wouldn't try so hard if our vote didn't count. And I get it, because I heard the same arguments as well. I was in the world just like you guys were or are. I understand it, but that's something we're not supposed to be doing. It's actually unlawful according to the Bible, as we're getting ready to read. Deuteronomy 17 and 15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15. Mm-hmm. Thou shalt.
What?
Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy power shall choose.
So that last part, soon the Lord had done what?
Thy power shall choose.
That the Lord shall choose. When you see that, it just means power. That's why he's saying power. So it's saying that the Lord has done this. The Lord has already made a choice for us. So what are we doing to turn around to go and vote for somebody else? The Bible is saying that the Lord has already chosen. The Lord has already chosen who our leader is, who our king is, the leader of this nation. That's Jesus Christ. That's who that is. So for us as blacks, Hispanics, for us to go and turn around and to go against what God says, to go and try to vote for somebody else, whether it be for Joe Biden, Donald Trump, or Kamala Harris, for us to turn around and vote after the Bible says not to vote, it is antichrist. Let me say that right there. It is very antichrist. It goes against the Bible. It goes against the Bible. It's very unlawful for us to do. It's a slap and it's a spit in the face to the Most High. Are we good on the time?
Come, we got it's 8:55.
Okay, there's no sweat.
You got 5 minutes.
Okay,
no
so
you can go over a little bit if you want.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm trying to stop it on time. I don't want to get checked.
All right.
But what I'm saying is, it's just unlawful for us to do that, and it's just very disrespectful because the Lord has already set up everything that's established for us. We're just not supposed to be voting. So for us to turn around and vote, it's disrespectful. And not only that, if I didn't say it earlier, I'm gonna say it again. The main reason, read it from the top. It's a key word in there that I want to touch on.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15. Mm-hmm. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy power shall choose.
Whom the Lord shall choose. That's a key word. Choose. Choose is a verb. Choosing. It's a verb. It's an action. The Lord shall choose. Now, why is it saying that the Lord has to choose? It's saying that the Lord has to choose because we are unqualified as human beings to choose.
That's right.
We're making everyday simple mistakes. Well, what we say simple to people in the world may not be so simple. We can't do things like not voting. That is a choice. We're supposed to not vote, but we're deciding to vote. We can't do things. We don't know how to pick out a proper husband or a proper wife or anything like that. We don't know how to do simple things, instructions. We've been messing up since the Garden of Eden. We've been disobeying the Lord. The Lord says not to do this, and what do? We do the exact opposite. So we have already shown the Lord that we don't know how to obey. We have already shown the Lord that we don't know how to choose. So you know what? Like little children, the Lord has to make choices for us. And that's one of the choices that the Lord decided to do, was to go on and choose a leader for us, and that was Christ, and that was a king. That's what the Bible was saying. That's something that we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be choosing who our leader is. That's already chosen. That choice has already been made for us. Good night. But it's so much more that I would love to get into and break down. But like I said, I'm just limited on time. But it's so much more that I'm actually going to break down. So this is just part one of voting is not of God, or voting is unlawful, either or, however you want to phrase it. This is just part one. So there will be more to come. There will be more to come. Like I said, this is just part one. So you guys just bear with me. And hopefully next time we'll have like another camera or some better audio or whatever, better quality. So for the brothers and sisters who had questions that were online, sorry they couldn't get to them tonight, but we definitely will get back with you. So with that being said, with the Isupk, started on 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We started in 1969 under the leadership of Commanding General Yohana. We are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. And I would say that one more time. We are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. We are the home of the truth, One West, under the leadership of Commanding General Yohana. If you are not in the Isupk, you are not in the truth.
That's right.
And with that, I'll pass the class over to Precinct Officer Yanazar.
Security announcements. We are the ISUPK. Let me turn this off. I just shut everything down. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to start messing with things I don't really know about, so I just shut it down. I don't know how you shut this down. You got to shut that down with your camera, right?
Yeah. Let me do this real quick. Okay, so that was a live stream. So
Security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. And after this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3 through 10. Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 through 10, Salakia, means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offerings for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming convocation. Hanukkah. Or the Feast of Dedication, the 25th day of the 9th month, by the space of 8 days, which is Wednesday, December 9th, 2020, for 8 days. You can find this in 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 52 to 61. Remind Achium and Aquathium to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events. Of course, we always going to point you out to the Black Watch with Commanding General Yohana on Monday. Then we have various other media that will allow you to keep up with, such as we have Cross the Line Radio on Thursday night from 10 to midnight. We have the ISUPK Radio out in California on Fridays. And we also have on Wednesday, we have here in North Carolina, we have, I forgot the name of the show, that on Fridays.
I know. I was at Ayah and Taiwan.
So I'm not going to mention it. And with that, imagine, and we just go on.
Yeah, just close it up. Yeah.
Okay, so we got that off. We're going to turn off these lights. I got to pick up my son is coming in. You did a great job out of him. Goodness, brother. Thorough.
Yeah, like I said, this is my first class all year because that's just how I work.
Yeah, but that's important that they understand these things, man. You know, like our people are so we so fucked up, man. It ain't even funny, man. Damn. We all messed up.
I'm gonna try to turn everything on.
Yeah.
Let me why I came in early today because I wanted Mario to show me everything so I know how to turn this stuff off. So let me call him real quick. If you gotta go, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I ain't in no rush. I gotta pick up my son at the airport.
Oh, tonight?
Yeah, they having a Thanksgiving dinner at my daughter's house.
Oh, God damn.
You know, we usually had it at my house before I came in the truth.
Okay.
They ain't having it at my house. So my daughter, they having it at her
I
apartment.
hear that. Okay, so here's the. Okay, so that's off. That's a speaker. Damn, I gotta learn how to. Where's the switch at? This damn thing. It's slow. Yeah, it's still running.
It's still running.
It says loud. Yeah, I see.
Maybe I shouldn't have just turned. Let me go back.
I turned the speaker off.
Let's see. I don't have it. I can't do it.
Okay, let me call. Let me call real quick.
Sign in options. I don't have the pen.
Make your computer easier to use. Windows will read narrator.
What is the passcode to get
Hear
in?
text on screen aloud.
Cause
1969.
okay, 1969.
Because we got to turn off the thing. Before we turn it off, and the live stream is still on. So just got to go back in there and see.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it right here. Okay, now just tap on it so you can get that.
Exit. Should I hit it? Exit.
Nah, because I don't know exactly. Just tap here so that can come down. Yeah. Okay, so Mario, now
Should I hit exit?
Until all streams recording will shut down. Are you sure you wish to exit? Yeah, press
Exit.
yeah. No, press yeah. I
Okay.
think we may